What's up, Katherine? How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining me in the summit and like participating and giving to these women that are going to be watching. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
So we'll just jump right in. I would love to hear what you do now and kind of like your backstory, like how you got into it and like, where you started, you can tell us where you're from too, and a little bit about yourself while you're at it. That would be great.
Okay, so I have a degree in interior architecture. Interior design has always been my passion. And so that's what I went to school for, and that's what I've started out in. And so I was in the residential design field for a while. And I realized I loved writing about design way more than just doing design with clients. So I kind of took the plunge to start my own blog, and I had no idea what I was doing about a year ago. And it was just like my little passion project on the side. And it has grown like a huge audience on social media and a following on just Pinterest. And so I realized it was, where my career was leading and what was making me most happy. So I stopped doing design for myself for like a design business, and I started working for a company doing design because I still absolutely love it. But I didn't want to focus all my energy into finding clients and all of that. I really wanted to focus on helping people with like my written post. So that is kind of the story. It all happened in like a really short, like 3-year span. And so it's been great.
That's awesome. So your blog now, like who is that blog for? Like who would want to be checking out your blog?
Right. So it focuses a lot on budget remodels and DIY. And so I have found the audience to be people coming out of college or newlyweds, new couples who don't have a huge budget, but they're ready to get rid of like their dorm furniture and their hand-me-downs, or like maybe upgrade them. And so it's a lot of people my age, which has been really cool to connect with. I'm 25, and I've met so many great people my age and made friends just through people wanting design advice. So that's kind of the target audience, but honestly, anyone who has a home and wants design advice comes to it. So
like me.
Yeah.
My boyfriend and I, we moved into this, we're in a duplex now, but we moved in at the end of February, and behind me, we're pregnant. So we're due in like 2 months.
That's
So we're
awesome.
just putting together this room, and we, Annie, actually, she's one of the other experts in the summit, but she's been helping us like design our apartment or our duplex.
Yeah.
And so I feel like all the little things that I want that she isn't helping us with, I feel like your blog would be a perfect place for me.
I'm so excited to hear that.
Yeah, I'm excited to check it out too and learn all the do-it-yourself. I'm so bad at do-it-yourself stuff though, so.
Yeah, I was too when I started. I just learned along the way out of like pure necessity.
Yeah, awesome. So I would love to hear a little bit more about how you made that leap from, because I'm sure you had like a consistent income with your design client business or your design business, and then kind of like moving into following your passion project, which is now, like you said, it's like your main focus, right?
Yeah.
So how did you know when to do that?
There's like an exact pivot point that I remember where I just had been designing for clients all day, and my fiance now came home, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I just want to write about design all day. I don't want to help these people with budgets and designs that I can't relate to. And I loved them. I loved my clients. We had great relations, but I felt like I wanted to help people who were more in my boat and have more of like an impact wide, like social media. I wanted to reach more people, not just the 3 clients I could handle at a time. And so it really came out of a desire just to help and inspire a lot of people. And it was like that night where he suggested I just make a blog. And I was like, I don't know how to do that. But he's in tech and he helped me figure it out. I made my WordPress site and like one day had it all up, started the Instagram, and within a week I had like a blog up. And so ever since then I have decided to like not give up on it no matter how hard it was. And
That's so awesome. I love that he was so supportive and like helped you follow that.
yeah, it was honestly his idea and he so it was great.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
So what would be like, 'cause I know for a fact that I've talked to ladies who are either trying to start their blog or they want to start a blog. And I want to start a blog. So what would be like your tips for someone who wants to get into something like that?
Gather a ton of information up front. Like I did a ton of research, there's so many Facebook groups out there for resources.
Oh,
And I talked to other bloggers and I kind of gathered what I liked, what I didn't like what I knew my limits were as far as technology. And then I just started. I didn't like have a huge plan. It's honestly just best to start and not aim for perfection because it's so hard, especially when you don't have the technological skills to get
yeah.
started. And so, know your stuff, but don't overwhelm yourself either, I guess would be, there's like a point where you can just get overwhelmed and feel like it's never going to be good enough. And then there's a point where it's like, it's time. So,
Yeah, totally. I love that. It's like, I don't know who says this. I feel like it's like a buzzword now in social media, but like messy action, like just do it.
yeah,
Even though it's not going to be perfect. It's better just to start.
yeah, yeah, that's my biggest piece that's it summed up. So,
Cool. I love that. So the summit is also, I mean, besides like trying to help women find like what they're passionate about and get the courage to actually start pursuing that. It's also to help them realize that like taking care of themselves and their health is just as important, if not more, to really feel it, really living a fulfilling life. So tell me a little bit about like what you do to take care of yourself and your health and like how that plays into what you're doing now.
yeah, so I've always kind of been big into health, but since working for myself and working from home, it's really hard to like get motivated and get out there and live healthy because you can sit at home all day and just eat what you want and there's no one around to judge you. So
Yeah.
I've made huge points. Like I go to the gym in the morning at least 3 days a week to kind of like kickstart my day. Because I know by nighttime when I'm like, I want to write my blog, if I hadn't worked out all day, I'm just going to feel antsy and I'm not going to be able to sit any longer. And so if I don't, eat healthy and work out that day, it throws off my whole balance. And it really goes with mindset too, just like confidence. If I'm not taking care of myself, I'm not confident. And it shows in my Instagram, it shows in my blog because it'll just come out. You can really tell when someone's writing if they're going through something.
Yeah.
And so it's full circle, I think.
Yeah. It's crazy that you pointed that out, that like the energy comes out even when like you're trying to hide it, obviously. Because that's something I really believe too. So that's really good point. And it just like I feel like that happens no matter like whether you're writing a blog or you're working in an office or you're like a stay-at-home mom, like
Right.
it's just the energy that comes from you. If you're not prioritizing yourself and taking care of yourself, then you're just not showing up as who you need to be.
Yeah, I always say you can't pour from an empty cup. And I know it's cliche, but it's so true. I've tried. I think everyone's tried, and you get to a point where you realize that you have to put yourself first if you're going to serve anyone or serve your work.
Yes, totally. I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Um, so what is like your big why? Like, what is the reason? Because I love that earlier you said that you started the blog really from a place of serving others. I think that's really important. Especially like when you're starting a business, a lot of people just will start a business because they think it's like a quick way to make money. And so then the energy comes out the wrong way, right? Like we were just talking about, and it doesn't always work out as planned. So to me, it's like a lot more authentic and successful if you're coming from a really deep, like, desire to serve.
Yeah.
So what is like your big why now?
So a little bit backstory. When I did start my interior design business that I didn't have for long, until I discovered I wanted to do blogging, I did it because I thought it was going to earn me so much money and give me all this financial freedom. And it really burnt me out because my why just wasn't there. My why was money. And so when I kind of changed it to be, serve others, inspire, I wanted to be the person that I didn't have. So I didn't have any role models showing me how to make a beautiful home out of nothing. And so I knew how to do that, but I wanted to show other people how to do that. And so, when I do get discouraged, there's so many messages I've gotten or followers who've reached out to me who've like shown me things they've done because of me, or told me they inspire me, and those keep me going because I realize, like, even if I don't see it every day, because social media can be a cruel place, there's so many people out there that I'm helping, and so that's my why, just to keep helping.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's so great that people reach out to you too, because I feel like, especially like, I mean, you have a pretty big following on Instagram. So I feel like people will see those numbers and just assume like, doesn't need to hear from me,
Yeah.
and so there's probably hundreds of people, thousands of people that haven't even talked to you or like told you that you've helped them. That one little voice that you get, it makes such a big difference.
It does. It totally does. It's so worth it.
That's awesome. So what are your big plans going forward? Do you have like goals that you're trying to achieve in the next like 6 months, year, anything like that?
Yeah. So within a year, I'm trying to replace my income with my blog income so that this can be like my full stream. I have no idea what that looks like so far. But I honestly just want to be more consistent and write more and really like hone in on all of that, because it's really easy to put it aside when I have a full-time job and I can depend on that. And so it's more just being intentional about how I use my time and really ramp up my social media. So
Yeah.
I don't know what it looks like yet, but it's a good goal. It's a positive feeling goal. So
Good. It's like a good, scary feeling.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So do you have any like advice or people of influence that you would recommend anyone who's watching this to follow or check out? Like for me, when I started my business, I didn't know anyone that had their own business. I kind of just found people on social media that were like doing what I wanted to do and learned through them. So do you have anyone that like you follow or that you think people should check out that would be really inspiring?
There's a woman named Jolie Solomon she has a podcast. I don't know if you've heard of her.
I haven't.
Okay. And she is super authentic, but she started in kind of like a negative space where she was really income driven and just inauthentic. And she's really open about that and like completely flipped the script on everyone, and through her social media, through her podcast. And now she's all about how to grow your business. She focuses on business from like anything without social media to like complete influence.
Okay.
And so she's like all encompassing, but she's super authentic, and I listen to everything she says. She has been super helpful. It's called the Influencer Podcast, Jolie Solomon, but she's someone I found from the beginning, and I've loved following her.
Awesome. You know what? I think I have heard of the Influencer Podcast, but I didn't know her name.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm excited to check her out. She sounds awesome.
She is super cool.
Sweet. Okay, so we do have a freebie offer that we're going to link below for everyone who's watching for you. And I just want to say thank you again so much for doing this interview and sharing your story, because I feel like it's really going to touch a lot of people. Honestly, like for me too, it's nice to hear that blogging isn't dead.
It's seriously, I feel like it's only growing. I feel
Good.
like it's gonna be bigger. So yeah.
That's awesome. I love that because I'm really excited to dive into that space. So I'm definitely going to be hitting you up for
Yeah,
tips.
yeah.
Thanks, Catherine. Thank you so much. Oh, and before I let you go, tell everyone where they can get to know you better and find you.
Okay, so on Instagram, it's My Eclectic Grace, all one word, and then my blog is just myeclecticgrace.com. So
Eclectic is one C, ECL.
yes, yeah, it's like so commonly misspelled, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I misspelled it the first time. I was like, this can't be her.
It's like poor choice to call it that, but
No, I love it. It's awesome. And just so everyone knows, your Instagram is beautiful, your blog is beautiful. So definitely go follow her. Cool, girl. Well, thank you again. And thank you for everyone for watching. Make sure you check out her freebie, and we'll catch you guys later.
right. Thank you.